Hey, this is Sensei Brad from Code Ninjas Greenville coming at you with part 4 of Coin Wizard. This should be our final part. We are going to make the coin end the game if it touches the ground, and we're also going to make the coin slowly speed up. And most importantly, we're going to add a title screen. So we should be able to finish this game up. So let's get to it. Alright, so when we left off, we had our game set up to where our coin is falling down, and we can collect it. We have our map made, we have our camera script done, now we have our coin falling and we can collect it. So now what happens if the coin just falls to the ground? Let's see. Well, nothing happens. And now we can't collect the coin. It's there it goes. Bye, coin. Bye. So now we're stuck here. We can't do anything. This isn't a fun game anymore. So let's fix that. Let's make the coin kill the players if you miss the coin. So let's go to our coin object. And inside our coin object, let's go to our fall script. So this is where we're going to make the game end if you miss the coin. So we're just going to go inside of this forever loop, and right after we change the position of the coin, we're going to check to see if the coin is below the floor. So let's go ahead and see what number that is. If we move this coin up and down, you can see here what number is changing. It's that middle number. So we need something around -5. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go back to our fall script and let's just do exactly that. Let's do if yy, which we already have our y position saved. So if yy is less than -5, then we want to do some stuff. So this part's going to be a little crazy. We're going to go through a for loop. We're going to find every single player in the game, because you might be playing with friends, and we're going to set all their health to 0. So we're going to do for I, comma, player in I pairs, game dot players colon get players, and then we can end that there and do. So it's going to go through every single player, get them, and then do stuff with them. So we're going to see if the player exists. So if player dot character, then, so if the player exists, we're going to save that character to a variable. We're going to call it local hum. Hum stands for human, because we have to check to see if it's humanoid. So player dot character colon find first child, and this is going to be humanoid. And now we have that, we can say if the human exists, then we want to set the human's health equal to 0. And we're done. Now, if we miss the coin, it's going to set our health to 0. But we also want to set the coin back up to the top of the screen, ready for the next game, and we want to set the speed to 0 because we don't want it to start falling immediately because we're still dead and we're waiting to respawn. So let's go ahead and let's add a little bit to this. We want to be outside of the for loop. Right after the for loop, we want to do _g, which is global variable, coin underscore speed equals 0. So now we have the coin speed equal to 0. We can go ahead and copy these first 3 lines and just put them right after there. And if it does this and they're not tabbed over correctly, just highlight the ones that aren't tabbed over and press tab. And now we just need to update the position of the coin, which again, we already have that code up here, so we can just copy and paste it. So We set the coin speed to 0, we set it to a random location, and then, yeah, we actually update the location. These are just the variables, and then we update the location with the variables. So I think we're done with our falling script. So let's go ahead and check it out. So now, if I miss this coin, it should fall through the floor, and my character's health should become 0. All the characters connected to the game would become 0. Oh, looks like we have an error in our code. So let's go back and see what we did wrong. The reason I knew there was an error is because of this right here. Let me move this back over here. If you can see this, this says character is not a valid member of player. So what did I do wrong here? We did var I player in I pairs game dot players get players do if player dot character local hum is player dot character find first child humanoid if hum then hum dot health. What did I do wrong here? It's saying character is not a valid member of player. Character is not a valid member of player. Oh, I spelled character wrong. I spelled it characer. Character. So again, I just have to do a Ninja Cam. You will misspell things. It is okay. You've probably had to pause this video many times, and the previous videos, to double check and see exactly what I'm doing. That's okay. If you misspell things, if you make mistakes, that's part of coding. It's fun making those mistakes, finding them, and fixing them. So, we just had a little misspelling there. So, let's go ahead and make sure that works now. We have our coin falling down, and it should make our health 0 as soon as it... Yep, there we go. And our player will respawn. There we go. So now, we are almost done here, but the game doesn't start back. The game is just stuck here. So we need to fix that. So what we're going to do is we're going to move our spawn point. Our spawn point, we are going to move it up to way up here. We are actually going to spawn our character up here. So we're going to change our spawn point position to 35. So it'll be way up here. So whenever we start the game, we actually aren't going to see our player. Our player is going to be way up top, and we're just going to have this. So our coin is already falling, so we can't do that. We have to wait for the game to start. So let's go to our fall script and make sure that coin speed starts out at 0. So this runs at the very start of the game, and it just runs one time because it's not in the forever loop, and it's going to set our coin speed to 0. So now that the coin speed is 0, we should be able to start the game, and nothing happens. Our coin is waiting to start falling. Our player is way up above. We can't see him. So we need a start button. So let's go ahead and start creating our starting screen. So we need to go to our starter GUI folder. So if you come down here, it's not in our workspace. It's actually its own thing. It's a starter GUI folder. And we just want to make a screen GUI. GUI stands for Graphic User Interface. So now we have a graphic user interface. But I don't see a graphic user interface. Where is it? Where's the GUI? Well, we have to create it. The first thing we want to add to the GUI is a frame. So now we have a frame. I like this blue color going on here, so let's change the background color 3 to a nice blue color that matches everything else. And let's go ahead and we need to change the scale of this frame. This is very important. So if we go to size, you can see our scale is right here. For our frame, we need to set it so it can fit on any screen no matter what size it is. And to do that, we want it to completely fill the screen. So we want to do scale is 1, scale is 1. And notice our offset's 100 right now. Let's just make that 0. So our offset is 0 for the X and the Y, and our scale is 1. Now we can just move this and put it right there. And now it covers the whole screen. We can also make sure it covers every screen. We can go to Test right here and click Device. And now you can see no matter what device we pick, even if you're playing on a phone, this blue frame is going to cover the entire screen. So this is a great way to test out your game really quick on a bunch of different devices and make sure it looks the way you want it to look. So we're going to get back to this. So we have our frame, but now we need a title. So to make a title, we're going to get a text label. This text label is going to be the name of our game. So we just need to scroll in the properties until we find the text. Let's see. There it is. Text equals label. Well, we want this to say Coin Wizard or Coin Wiz. We'll make it Coin Wizard. Well, the first thing we want to do, that text is way too small, so let's make it 50. And let's make sure we scale the text. So, where is that? Text wrapped, text transparency. Where is it? Sometimes you just gotta look for it. Text scaled. There it is. Just check mark that. It's directly above text size. So now we need to do the same thing with the size that we did with the frame, except this time we don't want the scale to equal 1 because then it would fill the entire screen. We just want it to fill some of the screen. So what we're going to do is we need to set the offset to 0 for both the X and the Y, and now it becomes this tiny, tiny thing that we can't even move because the scale is 0. So let's change the scale to 0.9 for the X, and for the Y scale, let's change it to 0.2. There we go. And now we can put it in the very center. There we go. And just like before, we can click Test. We can click on this device thing, and we can see no matter what device we go to, it's at the top and it's centered. So now we need to add a button. So this is going to be a text button. And we're adding this to the screen GUI. Make sure your screen GUI is selected or this will not work. The frame, the text button, and the text label should all be inside of the screen GUI. If you've messed up and you have it in the starter GUI, all you've got to do is drag it and drop it in the screen GUI and it will appear. So, this text button, let's go ahead and add some code to it. Let's go ahead, well, not code, sorry. Let's go ahead and change it just like we did. With the size, we want the offset to be 0 and the offset to be 0. And for this scale, for this text button, let's go ahead and do, let's try 0.083. And let's do the Y. Oh man, I think that's going to be too small. Let me see. Let's do, actually let's do this. Let's do 0.3 and 0.2. There we go. Now we need to be able to change the position of this, which it's not letting me click it right now. But there we go. Just had to click off of it. that text is really small on there. So let's go down to our text and change it to start. So now we've got a start button. Let's change the text size to, I like my text really big. Let's do 100. And let's make sure we scale that text. So now we've got this nice start button. We want it centered on the screen. You see this green line that appears? There we go. So now the problem is we can't see our game anymore. But we have a button, we have a title screen, so I'll show you how to fix that. First, let's go ahead and code our start button to do what we want it to do. So let's click this plus button next to our text button, and let's type in script. Let's add that. Now this script is going to be called start game. So let's rename that to start game. Now this should be a pretty easy script. First thing we're going to do, as soon as this button gets created, we're going to do script.parent.enabled equals true. So what we're going to do is we're saying parent.parent.parent. We're going to disable this starter GUI. So, I think I have too many no, just 2 parents. We're doing parent. We're going to disable that, or enable it. So I'm going to disable the screen GUI. So let's select the screen GUI, and then let's go to the properties, and just where it says enabled, we're going to disable it. We're going to uncheck mark that. So going back to our base plate, we don't see our title screen anymore. But if we enable that, we do. So what we're doing is this button is going to enable it for us at the very start of the game. So we're going to make a function here for when you click the button. We're going to say script.parent, which is the text button, dot mouse button 1 down, colon connect function. So we're going to create a function for that script. So it should look just like this right now. And now we need to tell this button what to do when we click it. So we're going to do script.parent.parent.enabled equals false. So once we click the start button, we want to turn our title screen back off. So now we're going to do global variable cscore.value equals 0. Remember, we set our cscore in our server script. We have our cscore set to a global variable here. So we can easily set the starting score to 0 every time you spawn. So you won't start with the points you had last game. We also want to set the coin speed at this point, because our coin speed starts at 0. So if we go back to our coin, go to workplace, go to coin, and get this fall script, we started out at 0. So once we click this start button, we want to change that coin speed to, we'll do 0.15. Now we need to change the player's location, because now we're spawning the player way up here. So we need to move the player from up here down to here. So let's go ahead and do that. I know about where that's going to be, so we're just going to type in the numbers here. That's going to be local target, which is the target where we want to spawn our character. We're going to do cframe.new, and these numbers are going to be about -25, comma, -3, comma, -20. Just like we've been moving around everything else, this is going to be our player's X, Y, and Z positions. So now, let's do this for every single player. So we're going to do for I, comma, player in iPairs, game.players colon, oops, capital L there. Let's make sure we're not doing any spelling errors. Colon get children, and then we're going to do this for loop. And for every single player in the game, we're going to do if player.character, and so if the player exists, and player.character colon find first child, humanoid root part, then we're going to change the location of the player. So we're going to do player.character.humanoid root part dot cframe equals target. And our target is the new spawn location for our character. So we should be done. So we can close out of our scripts, we can press play, and we should have a lovely title screen now that says Coin Wizard, and we have the start button here. So let's click start, and our player should move down here. Oops, we have a spelling error or something. So let's go back, and it says find first child is not a valid member of model. So we know we've messed up somewhere in the start game script. So let me just quickly see where I could have messed up. It says find first child is not a valid member of model. So I've probably, yep, find fist child. So that needs to be first child. So that was just a spelling error on my part. Now it should work. We click start, and look at that. Our player spawns down here. So it just updates his C-frame location to down here. And let's see what happens whenever we get killed. Okay, our score is 1. Our high score is 1. So whenever we spawn, it should reset our score to 0 when we click start. But our high score is still 1. So you know that error we had before wasn't an error at all. Now, right now, the coin is going really slow. So the first thing I want to do is I want to correct the comment that I left on my code before. You may not have this comment, but I do, so I'm going to make sure I remove it. That was in our fall script, I believe. Nope, it is in our get score right here. We might have an error here. Well, we just tested and we don't, so I can erase that comment now. Now, our coin is really slow. It's a pretty boring game. We don't want to make boring games at Code Ninjas. So we're going to spice this game up a little and make it more fun. And you can change these numbers however you want to make your own unique game. So I'm going to make my coin slowly speed up as we collect more and more of them. So in my in this script here, I am just going to update one thing. I'm going to do global variable coin speed equals global variable coin speed plus 0.02. And then let's go ahead and max out the coin speed because we don't want it to go infinitely fast. So let's do if global.coinspeed is greater than 0.32, then we want to set the global.coinspeed to 0.32. So we don't want it to go too fast. So now, we also, let's see how fast our coin is going. So let's just print it to the screen. We're going to do print global.coinspeed. There we go. And I believe this game is done. So let's just give it a quick play. as soon as we collect our coin, we will see the speed of the coin get printed to the screen. So down here, you can see my speed is now 0.17. I collected it again, it's 0.19. I collected it again, now it's 0.21. And we can keep doing this, and it gets faster and faster. But it caps out at that speed that we set it, which was 0.35 or something. Oh no, okay, I still got it. Okay, I think it's 0.32, yep. 0.32 is our max speed that we set. Oh, where is it? Oh my god. Okay. Alright, so we have the, oh no! High score, 13, try to beat it. So, and sure enough, we have our title screen appear, and then we click start, and it resets our score to 0, and here we are, collecting more coins. So this is Coin Wizard. You can change this code however you want, try to make it your own unique game. I encourage you to try to add other things that can fall. So before we go into this, let's switch to our Ninja Cam. So I challenge you, ninjas, to create your own version of this game. Add cool things to it. Add more things to collect. Change the speed of the coin. Change something about the game. Make it your own game. You have the basics down. You know what you're doing. And whatever you create, I want you to leave a comment on this video so everybody can see the awesome tweaks and changes that you've made to this game. So just leave a comment below with your game linked. But how do we publish a game and share it? So let's just do one last thing before we end this video. Let's publish Coin Wizard. So we have our game finished. We're ready to publish it to Roblox for everyone to play. So we just need to do one easy thing. We go to File, Publish to Roblox as, not Publish to Roblox, Publish to Roblox as, and I'm going to name mine Coin Wizard Tutorial. And we can leave a description. Catch all the coins. Don't miss any of them, or you will be doomed. And this is for computer, and, well, we tested to make sure it would work on everything. So we're going to do phone, tablet, and console. So there we go. We've got everything now. So we'll click Create, and just like that, our game is published and ready to go. And you see that share button? That's all we've got to do. Publish your game and make it public. Go to File, Publish to Roblox. So we'll go to File, Publish to Roblox. So after we do Publish to Roblox as, let's just click Publish to Roblox to make sure it gets published. Now we should be able to see our game on our main screen. So if we just open up a new Roblox Studio, we're going to click on My Games, and I actually don't see Coin Wizard Tutorial. It looks like it saved it as the wrong name. But that's okay. If it saves it as the wrong name, we can fix that. These three dots up here, we're going to do Configure Game, and it's going to take us to the internet. So we don't want this name. We want it to be Coin Wizard Tutorial. And notice it's set to private right now. Nobody can play our game. So we're going to set it to public. And we're going to click Save. There we go. And just like that, we have everything ready and we can play our game. I'm going to leave everything else as is. So now I can go to my profile right over here. Just takes just a moment to load. And now I can click Creations. And look at that, Coin Wizard tutorial. So now I can click play on this. And now we're playing our own Roblox game that we created. That's all you have to do to publish this awesome game and have all your friends playing it with you. And again, you can even change this game to make it your own. Add more stuff to catch. Add things you have to dodge that you can't touch. Here we are. We have Coin Wizard. We click Start, and look at that. We're spawned in. Here we go. And we're playing this on the Roblox website. Getting faster. Now here, we can't see it printing the screen because we're not in the editor. We can't see the speed being printed. So, oh, I missed it. Got 12. My high score is still 13. So there you have it. We've published it, we created it, we finished it. So that's it for Coin Wizard. This has been a 4-part tutorial for a remake of Taco Wiz inside of Roblox. So I hope this helps you understand some things, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment below, and also please publish your games, make some changes to this, make it your own unique game. We would love to see what our ninjas create and share. So goodbye for now, and hopefully I'll have another one of these soon, and we'll make some more awesome games together. Bye!